So, if you've been with a narcissist, then you probably would have realized that when they feel pain, when they feel hurt, they make it your problem. They blame you for it. And I'm going to talk about why narcissists do that, why they need to make you feel responsible for their pain. And I'm going to go into a level of detail that I haven't really gone into before. So, narcissists by nature, the NPD by nature, these individuals hurt. They feel different. They feel like they can't relate to people the way people tend to relate to each other. And to avoid feeling broken, what they do is they create this imaginary world where they're super special, where they have, say, some unique talent, they're gifted, they're special. And it's only by associating with that feeling of being someone super special that they hurt less, that they feel less injured, that they can get relief. But they can't maintain those feelings on their own. They can't get the relief that they so much need on their own. What they need is someone who can help prop them up, someone who can help prop up their false self. And if you've been with a narcissist, if you've been an integral part of their life, then that's because you were tried and tested and you succeeded in making them feel special. You succeeded in giving them immense relief. You've succeeded in making them feel less broken. And they got used to that feeling. They've become dependent on you being that solution. Of course, that's not something they can ever admit. But that's what they're really after. Somebody who can be their solution in that way, while they pretend they don't need that person who is their solution. And if for some reason you're no longer performing, you're no longer making them feel as special as they need, maybe you're shifting your attention elsewhere, maybe you've been devalued to the point where you don't have enough energy to offer and dedicate towards the narcissist. Or maybe you're just no longer interested because you've been seeing through the cracks. For whatever reason, you're not making them feel as special as they need. And when they're not getting that relief, then they feel bad. They feel injured. The cracks start to show and they start to feel who they really are. And then they just can't process those feelings because narcissists can't process their negative feelings that come from within themselves. They can't process that. They immediately need a scapegoat. They immediately need somebody to project upon, to blame shift. So again, they can try to get some relief. Because they can't blame themselves, because narcissists don't have the ability to introspect. They don't have the ability to self-reflect. And what happens is they associate you with their pain because you're no longer making them feel good about themselves. You're no longer performing up to scratch to make them feel relieved. So you must be the person responsible for their pain. You must be the one responsible for the suffering. So they feel like they got to punish you, or they feel like they must try harder to extract that supply from you to make them feel good. Either way, you are the factor, you are the parameter that needs to fix them. And narcissists, they try a bit of both. Sometimes they'll try to punish you to see if they can coerce you to set you straight so you can then behave in a certain way to make them feel better about themselves. Or they can do or say certain things, maybe to try to get more pity of yours, more attention of yours. But it does anger them. It does make them feel victimized by you. Even if you've been going above and beyond for a long time, even if you were giving your absolute everything for a long time to make them feel good, the moment you no longer have that to give, or the moment you stop giving in the same way you were before, the narcissist all of a sudden becomes the biggest victim out there. And and then they think, okay, should they go and try to find a replacement supply, somebody else who would make them feel relieved and good about themselves and stroke their ego the way you've been doing up until now? Or should they try to fix you? And narcissists like to try to cover all bases, but all of a sudden it becomes exhausting because they don't know if they're ever going to manage to get you to behave the way you were before to make them feel good about themselves. So the narcissist thinks, okay, well, maybe they need backup supply or a new supply. But getting a new supply who actually puts up with them, who tolerates them and gives, and gives, is extremely hard to find. It takes a long time. It doesn't matter how rich they are, how charming they are. It's difficult to find somebody who will actually stick around for more than a short while because of the red flags that inevitably show themselves. And it becomes all very hard work. So the narcissist, they're stuck in this mindset of they can't really process their negative emotions, but they need a new fix. And then they're trying to think, okay, do they need the new supply, find new supply, which is hard work, or can they coerce you back into a course of action where you're now making them feel better about themselves again, which again is hard work, and sometimes you just don't have it in you. And that's why narcissists go into, or naturally, they find themselves in this kind of chaotic thinking because they're unable to change their own toxic patterns of thought. They're unable to change their own behaviors. But at the same time, they want to try to get people to make them feel good about themselves. And they realize that's not reliable. If you were providing good supply to a narcissist, the narcissist can't simply rely on you playing that role for the rest of your life. There's so many reasons why one day you might stop doing it. Maybe you're just too drained, too devalued. Maybe you're sick. Maybe you've seen through them and you realize that you can't deal with them anymore. Maybe you lost interest in them. There's so many things that can cause you to stop being the source of their primary supply. And narcissists, to find somebody who provides that depth of supply, is just so difficult to find. And when they find somebody who they think is good supply, oftentimes the person doesn't last very long because the narcissist is very good at pushing people away because they're just very toxic. And for the narcissist, the worst thing is they just can't see the part they play in their own reality. So instead of trying to find the inner issues and trying to make that inner change, they make it an outward problem where they make it somebody else who's not doing their job to make the narcissist feel better, because narcissists are so entitled. They think that the world has to make them feel better as opposed to them just being a decent, balanced human being. And you can see why narcissists, if they don't change their ways, you can see why they can never be happy, because they never have a sense of emotional freedom because they're dependent on other people, but they never want the other people to know either. Thanks for watching.